Ladies and gentlemen, career defender Miloš Degenek. Jacob, do you want to start us off with a question?
Miloš, good to see you here in person. I guess to start, like, what have you liked so far about Columbus? How has the integration part been with this team? Now you got some games under your belt.
I think I've liked everything about it. You know, the city in general. In terms of Columbus, the city is very nice. You know, people very polite. Everything I've seen so far, I've been through, and the people I've talked to have seemed really friendly and polite and helpful. So it's made my transition here and the move here very easy. Obviously, speaking about the club, I think everyone's done their bit to make me feel really welcome, feel like a big family here. All the boys, all the staff, basically everyone that's in the back room. Everyone does their job and does their bit to make you feel as comfortable as possible, and I've really enjoyed my time here so far.
Who are some guys who you've grown, I guess, close with here in a short time?
I think everyone. I can't really separate one or two guys that I just sit and talk with. I think I sit and talk, have coffee, or just basically before training or after training. I talk with everyone about all different types of things. Some guys that have kids, I talk with them about the kids, and the younger guys talk about their little life outside of football and what they need to I guess. A lot of the younger players want to move to Europe and play. So some of those things I give them a bit of advice and tips on how football and life is over there. So just try to do my bit and help. Mm-hmm. But yeah, basically everyone's been really, really friendly.
You've been everywhere around the world, played everywhere. How has this league and I guess competition compared to some of your stops?
I think very physical, very direct, very open. A lot of players with a lot of speed, a lot of quality as well. Individual players with absolute, fantastic quality, like Lucas, Zelarayan, who's got unbelievable quality. But he's one of a kind, and there's many players like that in each club. They have their players that are unreal, and I think the league here is very good. I think the league here is growing. I think every year it will get better and better, and I think the fact that you've obviously the States, when they do something, they want to do something to the best. You don't want to do something, second, or you want to be the best, or you don't want to do it at all. And I think that's a good thing and a good mentality, and that's why I think the MLS over the next 5 to 10 years will be one of the better leagues around the world, especially with the World Cup coming in over the next 4 years. I think a lot of money, commercials, and things like that will be pushed into football, and it'll be just, the thing that every kid wants to play and the thing that every person wants to go out in the weekends and watch.
Thanks for the time, Miloš. Appreciate it. On the field, how is the kind of communication growing between you and Jonathan, and then folks in the back line with you too?
Very good. I've got a pretty good relationship with Jonah. I think he's a one of a kind leader. He's a very good person. Very relaxed, very calm, but knows what to say and what to do at the right time. So he's very good to have around the change room. He's very good to talk to before games, during games, and I think my communication with him is unreal. Also with Jalil, I think my first game here was with him, so I found that really good as well. I haven't yet played with Josh, but all four of us are central defenders. All four of us are good players, I guess. They're all a bit older than me, have a bit more experience, but I've just got, I'm a bit younger, but I've got maybe a bit more European in terms of experience apart from Jonah. But I think our communication with Eloy as well, Pedro and Stephen has been quite good. We were quite unfortunate in some of the games, the way we've conceded goals. But I think we've got a really solid back line with all the defenders, whether it's Will Sands or whether it's Steve or Marlon or Jonah, me, Josh, Jalil. I think all of us are really good. Even the goalkeepers, Evan and Eloy, are all good.
And looking forward to this weekend, Philadelphia is one of the teams in the league that kind of defies some of the parity that the league likes, because they've been in the playoffs every year since around 2018. What do you see from Philadelphia in their attack, and how are you kind of strategizing this week to kind of stop it?
I think they're very direct from what we've seen. They're very direct, very straightforward, very robust, no nonsense type of football as well. And they've got some really good players in there as well. The number 10's really good. The central defenders are quite good. The two strikers, I'm not sure if one of them's going to play, whether he's injured or not, or he'll come on. But I think it's a very direct team, and they wouldn't be sitting at the top of the table if they weren't good this year. So I mean, credit to them, but you know, we're not going there to look at how they play. We're going there to play our game.
You come away, this team comes away from the first few weeks probably feeling satisfied mostly with how you're playing, but also maybe some points left on the table. How would you kind of describe, I guess, how the mood is of this group through the first few games?
I think the mood's good. I think everyone's, you know, the atmosphere's really good. We're all positive. You know, the vibe's nice. It's good. It's healthy. No negativity around. Okay, we lost the game, but you know, I still think, being honest, I think we should have beaten New York. Again, we should have beaten San Jose. So we should be sitting at the top of the table as well. We weren't that fortunate. We were missing a bit of luck. Some lack of concentration for us from us at the back against San Jose to let in goals late. That's our responsibility as well. But I think all in all, we're satisfied. But then again, we're not satisfied because we're not at the top of the table. So you know, you're only satisfied once you're sitting at the top comfortably and you're playing and winning games week in, week out. Until then, it's just head down, hard work, and keep grinding.
What's key to continuing? I guess, you know, this past week you guys didn't concede many set pieces. What's key to continuing to do that and ultimately not letting in goals off set pieces?
Just being focused, man. Just being focused. Just you know, sticking with our jobs and our duties, and you know, just following the game plans and following what we're supposed to be, and just being aggressive, being strong, and you know, just being a little bit dirty and being, you know, honest in the defensive duels.
Miloš, with coming over from where you were before and starting off preseason in Charleston, then home away, the traveling, how do you handle that with, you know, going back and forth? Is it more of a calming thing, or is it more of, okay, I have to get ready? What's the mental state?
No, I think it's, you know, it could be sometimes difficult, like, you know, the fact that I've travelled to Australia, it took me 30 hours to get it and it took me 24 hours to get back here. You know, that is a bit difficult sometimes, but it's kind of, I've been doing it for the last 6 years. So I've been travelling from Europe to Australia, which is a 24-hour trip there and back. So it's, I guess for me, that is like an hour flight for you guys. It's basic. You get in, you lay down, you watch a movie, you sleep, you eat, you wake up, you're there. And it's just, you know, the body's been used to, you know, my body's been used to playing 50 odd games a season, you know, and I'm quite, so to say, touch wood, satisfied and healthy and happy with the way I manage these things. So they're not that difficult. Even these flights of an hour and a half and that, it's just like I don't know, it's like a little hiccup. It's not very hard. Very, very simple to manage. You know, you get a movie or a series down, you watch it. By the time you're up in the air, you're ready now.
Well, what series are you watching then? If you're
How do you pass
I'm watching. Actually, I'm watching with my wife. Bridgerton, I think it's called, on Netflix. It's actually quite good. It's a bit girly, I guess. But,
Nothing wrong with that?
No, nothing wrong with that. I watched that. I watched Formula One, Drive to Survive. That's one of my better things that I've seen. Ozark as well, and then the rest is just basically all European TV, Serbian TV that I watch, and it's just not for you guys, I guess. It's just not for you guys.
my question is the mode of operation for this team when it comes to defensive presence.
Yes.
How would you describe that? Because yes, you guys gave up the first goal and run of play over the weekend, but it's a mistake that rarely happens, right? If the presence that you guys have put out as a defensive unit, how would you describe it, and what is it that makes this team special when it comes to just being able to defend from front to back?
I think it's not just the defense. I think the defending always starts with the striker, and then it goes to the 10, the wingers, the midfielders. But I think in general, when you look at the league, all across all the teams, all the central defenders, the fullbacks are all really good quality players. It's not just us. All clubs have really good quality players. I think what makes us a little bit special is the fact that, you know, obviously I'm new here, I've only played 5 games, but I think I've gelled quite quick with the boys, and I think, you know, Jonah's been doing it for 5 years now, 6 years here. Eloy's been here a couple of years, Pedro as well, Steve's half a year or a year almost in. You know, I think it's just, you know, the team's set up good, the coach has set the team up good, you know, and it's very well organised, and the discipline is the most important. If we're disciplined, you know, we're not going to concede. If we're not disciplined, we're always going to concede. So I think the main part is, you know, we're mentally quite strong and disciplined, yeah.
Thanks, Miloš, appreciate
Yep,
it.
all good.